TriView TV. New media with a difference.
Enough is Enough, Soke is the show dedicated to debate and discussion towards a better Niger for all of us.
One day, our Niger go good, oh. Now so then they talk good. One day, our mumu go do, oh. Now so we talk.
When it comes to choosing the right product for my skin, it's all about the ingredients for me. Niger skincare products are authentic, fresh, and best of all, completely organic. I love the Motherland Moisturizer. It's designed to smooth and soak in the skin without ever feeling greasy, and their Jade Roller has literally become a part of my self-care routine. Visit nigerskincare.com today and receive 20% off your first order. For beautiful skin you were born to love.
Hi guys, my name is Yabo and I am the founder of Masasi B. If you're looking for unique African-inspired clothing and accessories, please check out my brand. All details are at the end of this video. Feel free to get in touch. Thank you.
Curl pattern has just bounced back. Look at that, without any product in the hair at all. When you use Sherma Haven's natural hair care product line, your hair flourishes and becomes the main attraction.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our show, Enough is Enough, Soro Soke. Sponsored by Better Niger, I'm your host, Mr. Femi. I welcome you to a show dedicated to debate and discussions towards a better Niger for us all. Tonight's show promises to be yet another interesting one. The question we will ponder today: will a born-to-rule Northern agenda unite Nigeria ahead of 2023? My guests to deliberate this topic via StreamYard tonight include Mr. Olufemi Adegbelube, Oil and Gas Portfolio Manager from Canada. Are you there with us? I think we've got quite a few gremlins today. I don't know, something's happening where we're having issues with many people on the nets, but they may well join us later. I also have another guest. It's Salisu Adamu Mohammed. He's the Masun Zazo and he's the CEO of Triple A Properties. Are you with us today? I believe he also said he's in some difficulties in Nigeria and he'll be contacting us and joining the show shortly. I also have another chap, his name of Mr. Odinonse Matthews. He's an author and a licensed conveyancer. Are you here with us?
Oh, yeah, good evening. I'm here with you.
Fantastic. Nice to have you on the show. This is your first time. Great to see you. I have another guest who's supposed to be here with us. This is Mr. McQueen Maton, who's a civil engineer. Are you with us, Mr. Maton? We don't have him either. Okay, so let's move on. Maybe they'll all join with us shortly. So I want to say to everybody in our audience around the world, welcome to the show, Enough is Enough, Soro Soke. You can contact us and ask questions and make comments on our Facebook and YouTube live handles at Prime View Television and call in by to be heard on +44 7939 895 108. We shall look at the Northern Niger, the Born to Rule mantra its effect on the unity of Nigeria ahead of the 2023 general elections, and finish with current affairs from, and that's how we'll do. Okay, so before we start, we need to ask ourselves, I need to ask you to say a little bit about yourselves. So, Odinanso, you're the only one here, so you can start off by talking a bit about yourself. If you could introduce yourself to the audience.
Good evening, everyone. Yes.
Mr. Matthews.
Thank you for bringing me to this platform. Yes, I'm Dominic Matthews. I'm an author practical perspective on youth. I'm also a licensed conveyancer here in the UK, where I currently training. And I'm a human rights activist, in that I've done a bit of work for people who human rights have been, trampled upon by the state. I'm currently practicing in law, and practice in areas such as immigration, residential conveyancing. I also do some work in employment, and then I also do some work in family law, and also, obviously, I've been doing a lot of work also in litigation area, but mainly the civil area in terms of litigation relating to insurance and landlord and tenant, especially also in the housing sector. Yes, prior to coming into law, I was also a civil servant in Nigeria. I worked for over a decade before I decided to move on to something bigger. And that's what took me down to the UK to study and pursue my dreams. So as Nigeria wasn't giving me the platform for what I wanted to be, so I needed to spread my wings. So that's part of the reason why I moved to the UK many years ago. And, so it's nice to be here. I'm looking forward to having a robust discussion with my co-panelists on this issue today.
Okay, can you hear me? I had a bit of gremlins. Yeah, good. I had some little gremlins in my studio. I don't know, today is one of those days. I think because Black Friday is coming, maybe everybody's getting all funny. Anyway, so do you know what the discussion is about? It's about the power shifting. It's about power in the north. Some people thinking that they born to rule. So let's watch this video quickly. We'll watch this video, and then we'll come back and we'll start having deliberation. So if the presenter, with 371 different distinct entities in Nigeria and 251 of them in northern Nigeria, no single ethnic entity can claim to have the sole privilege of being born
rawa a gaban gada, kakalangu da 'yan mata an hada, ga guda da ganga a rangwada, domin sautin zuwa take da lagwada. To mutuku, kai mutuku, makina muna so kalangu ta bugu. Mutuku, kai mutuku, rikita musu gwamnati mun musu ku. Mutuku, kai mutuku, makina muna so kalangu ta bugu. Mutuku, kai mutuku, rikita musu gwamnati.
Kai Sidik, kai ka ji me yake faruwa a gari kuwa? Baba ni fa ba ruwa na following trends ne kawai, sai dai da abin da zai faru ya faru.
Ya faru, Burtaniya madaurin auren, duk abin da zai faru ya faru. Abokan ango ku sani ba mai ne goran auren. In yi gub da ita in kai ta ƙauyen mu, duk abin da zai faru ya faru.
An saka lockdown na fita yawo, duk abin da zai faru ya faru. Na fasa bamban dino malaye, duk abin da zai faru ya faru. in tana ta kira na 20 missed calls na ki dagawa ta min DM na ki kula ta duk abin da zai faru ya faru.
Yau zan sai da gidan gadon mu duk abin da zai faru ya faru. Mu shakata da ummi ta abun mu duk abin da
wannan waka is fresh waka. Breaking some sugar. Hey, wallet. Where's our life when the waka is fresh waka. Hey, wallet. Let's go. Okay. We alright. Say again, my man, so we gon' be alright. Energy nice. Come on, lean on nice. We alright. Say again, my man, so we gon' be alright. We alright. Come on, lean on nice. Wallet. Yes, she can stop. Wallet. Yes, she stop.
Let's salute one Niger. We want and deserve a better Niger. Wow, that was Mr. Matthews. Are you still with us? Odinonso, are you still with us? Hi, are you doing?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I was really dancing along to that video there. I think many people in the South don't know how exciting music and the people are in the North. We tend to have like a blinkered view of them and think that all the North are one, but they're not exactly that. That was great. I want to say sanu to all my Northern brothers and sisters in the house, and let's go on straight to questions. So, Mr. Matthews, the first question, you're going to have most of the questions because we haven't got the other guests, but we want to know, where did the term born to rule originate? Is the idea being born to rule exclusive to the North? What do you think?
Well, in my opinion, I think that is more or less like a cliché, that has kind of like grown over the years. They've not kind of adopted it because obviously from the history of Nigeria, if you look at all the presidents we've been having, we've had more military rulers from the North, extraction, and then adding the politicians as well, those who have come from the North, like the late Musa Yar'Adua and our current president. So this has become, as a result of we have more numbers coming from the North becoming president. Obviously, this has now become a cliché that they are born to rule. I don't think it's something that is can be ascribed to the northern region alone. As far as I'm concerned, anyone that is born in Nigeria is born to rule. So it depends on how you now adopt that cliché to also kind of like reflect how you want to be if you go into power. So it's not, sadly, it's been, kind of like append it to the northern extraction. But I don't think it should be so, because every Nigerian citizen has got that right, has got that platform, and they're entitled to also rule if they want to.
So, well, I'll put it to you, Mr. Matthews, that the Constitution prefers the privilege of being born to rule, as you rightly said. That is the 99 Constitution that everyone is liking to hate. It prefers that privilege of being born to rule on every Nigerian, whether you're from the north, the south, the east, the west. You have that right enshrined and protected in the Constitution. So, and all politicians vying for political office in Nigeria, whether from the north or the south, have that born to rule mentality. So what makes that of the North any different? Is there really any difference?
Well, it's just that I think the way Nigerian politics has also evolved kind of like has given them that opportunity to be more in power. Because going by military rule and how long the military has dominated our, you know, our lives, it is not too far to know or to find out how come they have now had that that kind of appellation, born to rule, because they've dominated our life. The ruling class have all come more from the northern extraction, while those from the southern extraction at those times seem to have also pushed them. They've kind of like taken a back step when those things were happening. If you take the history of even the military back in the day, most of the generals and those that have got to that level of high-ranking military men, you'll find that they're mainly from the northern extraction. So it is only natural that you find more leaders, more presidents, when a coup takes place, coming from that northern extraction. Because, like in every sector, you have politics going on. So it appears that some have not been very favored, especially those from the southern region, in appointments. And this is part of the reason why you see some of them, they are retired early, things happen, they're out of service, but every recruitment that they have, in the military and other forces, you find that you have more from the northern extraction. They have more people coming into the military. Obviously, if I have, say, for instance, I have an elder brother or a father in the military, it is only natural that I will want to also follow his footsteps. And so, by the time you know it, it populates from one generation to another generation. And that is why you find that in the military and other forces, armed forces, you find more of those of the military extraction. And obviously, the level of unemployment in those areas has kind of also encouraged why you find more of them, taking those offers. Those in the southern region, they have more opportunities both in commerce, in business, in other spheres of the economy in Nigeria. So you find them not necessarily, taking up those kind of offers when recruitment exercises, are put up.
Yeah, but let's look at it like you said. Out of the 61 years of our independence, since independence, 43 out of them have been ruled by northern heads of states and presidents, with the South having just 18 years out of that. Having said that, the North is often seen as a single entity of Hausa Fulani hegemony, but this notion is far from reality. As of the 371 distinct ethnic groups that are in Nigeria, the North has 251 separate ethnic groups, with Hausa being obviously the common lingua franca amongst them. So the North isn't one whole homogeneous place. There's so many different people there.
Yes, you are correct. That is quite true because language is one factor that unites people. Okay, and that is what they have kind of identified with for a very long time. And the culture itself and the religion also, when put together, kind of like make it look like, oh, they are a one united body. But it's not actually true in reality, as you have identified. There are other minor tribes, that are also spread across those states in the north. You have the Kanuris, you have the every other type of you can imagine, that both migrated, even those that migrated from other countries up north into Nigeria through those land borders. So what has happened over the years is that where the southerners, because of we have a much more distinct difference that you can easily notice. Oh, this is the Yoruba. This is an Igbo man. This is an Ishekiri man. This is an Ijaw man. So you will find that we've had those differences, and because of those differences, obviously, those differences were, kind of like perpetuated by the geographical positions that they all come from. So, and when the British people, when they came in, they saw all these differences, and they didn't want to change it because it will not work in their favor to try and unite.
But let's look at that. Let's even reflect on that. So the Sokoto Catholics, which is what was is like almost like an empire that was growing in the north. It was just like the British colonialists that colonized Nigeria. So as you say, they brought Hausa language to be the dominant language, but the separate people still remained. Just like now in Nigeria, the separate people still we didn't stop being Yoruba because the British came here. We didn't stop becoming Ishekiri because the British came here, or Igbo, or any other language. Tribe for that matter. So they may have been a sort of a Catholic, and the jihad was spreading, and they were colonized, if you like, by the Fulanis, if you like, but they still kept their entities and their identities. And that's why, I mean, there's languages, there's people like, I know someone from Adamawa State, and their tribe is called Margi. I've never heard that one before. Have you heard of Margi tribe?
No. I know there are a lot of ones that exist, but obviously there are a lot that we may not have heard of, but they do exist.
So, but it seems that it's either, so what my point to you is that it is either people are ignorant and they don't know what's happening in the north, and then there's those that don't want to know, and there's those that know but intentionally misconstrue the facts to give the impression that there's one homogeneous entity for their own separate, nefarious, selfish political ends. It suits them to paint the North in one brush so that they can use that to gain political power. Isn't that what's happening here?
Yes, you've identified it, but also let's also remember there's that element of religion, and religion plays a very significant factor in Nigerian politics and history. Because if you look at down in the south, they're majorly Christians. The Muslims will be described as those in the minority. But when you move up north, from the central north up to, the northeast, the northwest, you find that the Islamic religion, going from back in the days of when Usman Dan Fodio, started his jihad, and anywhere they conquered, all it did was to establish and ensure that religion was in place. They were using it as a tool for, harmonize.
Yeah, but Matthew, the reality is the North has got millions and tens of millions of Christians, just like we have tens of millions of Muslims also in the South. So they're not all Muslims up there. So it's I mean, when the British came, they brought Christianity. So, but it didn't stop people from continuing their Oshun or their Orisha and whatever things, their deities. They still had them. So what I'm suggesting to you is that even with religion, they're still different people. So why do we lump them in as one people? They're not all one people. It's not possible. And in fact, the Fulani in the north are the minority. They're not a majority tribe. They're actually a minority tribe.
That is quite true. The Fulanis are in the minority compared to the Hausas and even some other, other tribes in the northern region. But like I said, even in, say, just take for instance, if you have two people coming who practice the same religion or more, you're more than likely to see them do things together because there's something that they share in common.
So what you're suggesting to me is that political thinking and voting patterns are done on religious basis. I don't think that's the primordial factor for people making an electoral decision. I don't think it's going to be religion.
It's not that is the primordial factor, but in the sense that for them to even come together and talk and discuss, that is a factor that brings them together. Because
why then do we have a situation, for example, where the Southeast votes continuously for the PDP and they're likely to have a northern candidate in 2023, so they keep on voting for a northern candidate, and the northern candidate is a Muslim. So if what you're saying were the case, they should never vote for a northern candidate.
Well, politics as it is dynamic. It's dynamic.
Exactly my point.
And exactly my point. Every now and then, you cannot rely on just one factor. There are many other factors. Okay, this is just only one. Of course, there is education as well, which we all know, because without being, disrespectful to my brothers from the north, the level of education, as we all know, the penetration has been poorly managed in the north.
Mm-hmm.
And a place where you have poorly managed the education of young people, and girls, what do you expect? You're gonna see poverty, illiteracy, a high level of unemployment. So it's a place where you have all those things playing out. It will be difficult to for them to see anything different from what any politician, from their extraction will tell them. It will be difficult for them to see anything different from what he says. Once he says, vote this way, they all vote that way. And they have that kind of character to vote, en bloc for a particular, group or party. This is what I have also noticed.
But the history of politics in the North it's not like that, because I remember back in the day, if you remember the days of Aminu Kanu, as it was in the video, Waziri, you had GNPP, you had PRP, you had NPP, you had ANPP. So there was quite a variety of options for you. You didn't have to just have NPN and UPN. So what I'm saying there is that diversity was there. You noticed that in the Middle Belt they had different political parties they were supporting. Also in the Northeast they had different parties they were supporting, and even in Kanu they're quite radical. Remember Aminu Kanu? He is quite radical.
Yeah.
So looking at 2023, let's look at late 2023. Since the 1990 Constitution has conferred the right to vote and be voted for on all Nigerians, why should any Northerner not exercise that right? Why is this whole hobbler about we must rotate it to the south? So why couldn't they also exercise that right?
Well, the thing is that, like we said, obviously there's been this back and forth, everyone trying to they've been looking at this thing. It's been a hot topic, whether the next president should come from the south or from the north. Obviously, you also know there was this rotational presidency, rotational policy that was adopted, in some of the parties, such that after the northerners have taken their shot, you should naturally roll to the other side, which is the south. But in this case, I know there is a school of thought that is saying this thing should be left to anyone from anywhere, as long as they are competent. Because the rotational presidency policy seems not to be working anymore. It appears that is what is causing a lot of mediocres coming into the system, putting themselves up to become our rulers, because obviously they are being backed by elites, and we all know these elites they're so strong that they form themselves into a situation that you cannot become or even get to be nominated by your party without their approval. So there is nothing actually stopping them from exercising their rights. The Constitution already, granted it to everyone that is a citizen of Nigeria. But when you look at the level of poverty, the level of enlightenment, the level of education in the upper north compared to those in the south, there is some disparity and a high gap, sadly, over the years. I'm not blaming anyone, but it's just that some of the governors have mismanaged this process for a long time.
Yeah.
And this is why we are where we are, where you have people.
But the truth be told, Matthew, that the poverty levels are high in all throughout Nigeria. North, south, east or west, wherever you are, there's poverty. So
but
it's not
as much as you see in the northern part.
I may disagree with you there because
statistics.
So poverty is relative, isn't it? So you may have more money, for example, on a daily basis in the south, but your expenses are much higher. So you got a higher level of poverty, even though you have more money in your hands, but to buy food is more expensive. Food is maybe much more cheaper in the north. You understand? And much more readily available. So all these things are relative. There's massive poverty and unemployment equally in the south. Even with our education, there's still that unemployment and poverty. So this misgovernance is not just a northern thing. It's happening in the north and the south. But look, I think we should go on a break now and see if we can get some of our guests back on, because I've noticed that they've been saying that they're trying to lock in. So if the presenter, we can go on a break now and we'll come back a short.
When it comes to choosing the right product for my skin, it's all about the ingredients for me. Niger skincare products are authentic, fresh, and best of all, completely organic. I love the Motherland Moisturizer. It's designed to smooth and soak in the skin without ever feeling greasy, and their Jade Roller has literally become a part of my self-care routine. Visit nigerskincare.com today and receive 20% off your first order. For beautiful skin you were born to love.
Hi guys, my name is Yabo, and I am the founder of Masasi B. If you're looking for unique African-inspired clothing and accessories, please check out my brand. All details are at the end of this video. Feel free to get in touch. Thank you.
curl pattern has just bounced back. Look at that. Without any product in the hair at all. When you use Sherma Haven's natural hair care product line, your hair flourishes and becomes the main attraction.
Preview TV. New media with a difference.
Enough is Enough, Soro Soke is the show dedicated to debate and discussion towards a better Niger for all of us.
One day, our Niger go good. Now so then they talk good. One day, our mumu go do. Now so we talk.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Enough is Enough, Soro Soke, the show dedicated to debate and discussion towards a better Niger for each and every one of us. I have in the studio Odionse Matthews, who's an author and a conveyancer, who's discussing with us the story of whether everybody in Nigeria is born to rule or whether a particular section of Nigeria has a better right to being born to rule than anybody else. Now, when we left the studio previously, we were talking about the problems of lack of education, the lack of poverty, and I'm saying to you that that's prevalent in the whole of Nigeria. It's not just exclusive to them. However, there's a much antagonism, especially in the south and some parts of the north as well, in the middle belt, in the north central area, and some parts of up against Fulani in Nigeria, whether they be pastoral or nomadic herders who are their minority tribe in Nigeria, just trying to survive and make ends meet like most Nigerians. But now there seems to be this antagonism, all this thing about AK-47 wielding Fulani herdsmen, eating up their crops. You've got community, farmer-herder clashes, banditry, kidnapping, and everybody's tainting the Fulanis as if to say they are the guilty ones. What is your view? Oh, who's that? Mr. McQuinn. Engineer McQuinn, are you with us? Engineer McQuinn, maybe you need to turn your mic on. Can you hear us? Engineer McQuinn. Engineer McQuinn Maton, can you hear us? I can see you. Maybe you need to turn your mic on. There's a switch there that says maybe you've muted yourself. Can you hear me? Unmute your mic, Engineer Mike. Yeah, you see what it says mute? You unmute it. Oh my God, what's happened there? Hello? Where's Mr. Matthews? Wow, today is another...
Sorry, technical issues. I guess my mic went off briefly.
We're gonna have to redo this show because I don't know what's happening today. This is not this show deserves the right treatment and it deserves full concentration because it is very much a topic in the mix right now. Because as everybody knows, PDP, as far as I'm concerned, is article loading 2023. So that's on the agenda. Engineer Maton, are you there? Can you hear me?
I think it's back.
He's here, but we can't hear him. Is his mic on? Is your mic on? Yeah, you need to speak. If you speak, we can see you, but we can't hear you. Anyway, look, the question for you, as I was saying, is that why is this hatred, it seems, from other tribes for the Fulani specifically?
Sorry, bear with me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
If I think I've lost you again.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. So you were asking why is the hatred for the Fulani?
Yes.
Well, that is a very, very tricky one to answer. I guess because if you look at some of those are the faces that we see as the faces of the Fulani. If you ask an ordinary Nigerian,
Mr. Martin, can you hear me? I can hear someone in the background, but I can't see.
I can hear you. Yes, Femi.
Okay, good. Engineer Martin, welcome to Enough is Enough, Soro Soke. We can see you now. We can hear you now. I don't know what happened to Matthew. He's kind of disappeared. But why don't you introduce yourself? You've been back on the show. It's been a while since you've been here. If you just introduce yourself to the audience and about where you're from in the north and also a little bit about yourself. Go ahead.
Well, my name is McQueen Martin, and I am a civil engineer here. I work for the HS2.
Just keep speaking because I think you got feedback in your ear.
I am originally from Bokos in Plateau State of Nigeria. And have been here for about 22 years, 22, 23 years. What is happening in Nigeria, it's actually,
Yeah, we can hear you. Carry on.
Disheartening. And now the born to rule mantra in Nigeria, it's like we have the monarchy here, but they don't dictate the political leadership. Why should it be different in Nigeria? After all, Britain is our colonial masters.
So, Mr. Martin,
now, if
go ahead. Go ahead.
We are copying the British system of governance in Nigeria. The leadership, the political leadership of the country should be left open. However, as it is already known that it is going to be rotational, the leadership is going to be rotational, then it is only fair for it to be actually rotational, not for a particular section of the country to have this feeling or opinion or...
Don't listen to yourself, just carry on speaking.
That they are born to rule.
Okay, let me just say that
I grew up knowing that I was a northerner.
Yeah, carry on speaking.
But I have known different now. Because in the last 30 to 40 years, because of my name, anywhere I go in Nigeria,
don't listen to yourself.
I am either told that I am an Igbo man or a Yoruban.
Just keep speaking. Don't listen to yourself.
Yoruba man. Now, I go to the Yoruba land. I am told that I am a northerner.
Yeah, carry on.
I go to the south and the southeast. I am told that I am a Hausa man.
And when you go to the north, what do they tell you in the north?
Now, there is something that we need to understand. Yes, that in the north, they call me an Igbo man.
Okay. All right, let me bring...
we need to make it clear that we in the Middle Belt are Nigerians.
Okay.
That in the Middle Belt are Nigerians and have the right to identify, to have a unique identity.
Okay, good. Let me bring Mr. Matthew back into it. Look, Mr. Matthew, we're talking about the thing, why there is this sort of negative impression of Fulanis and we're hearing Mr. Engineer Maton now, who's from the Middle Belt, giving us the impression that some people are born to rule and all this kind of stuff. But we know that the Constitution doesn't allow that. And there is actually separation of powers between what the traditional institutions and the political institutions. And we know this because the governor of Kano State was able to dethrone the Emir of Kano. If the Emir of Kano had so much power, he would overcome the governor, but that's not the case anymore. These traditional rulers are just in name only, just like the Queen is just in name only. There's just ceremonial leaders. They may have all the paraphernalia of power, they go out with the horses and all that kind of stuff. They get stipend, but they don't really have political power anymore, do they? What do you answer? What do you say?
Well, thank you for bringing me. Apologies, I lost engineer
That's okay. Go ahead.
Mark Wayne for some time. You see, the thing is this: over the years, in the past, traditional institutions were very strong. But I think over the years, since we returned back to democracy, it appears there's been some conscious effort to reduce the powers of those northern, not just the north, of traditional institutions. That's why you see they have less power now, unlike in the past. Even their influence is not that as great as it used to be. Before, even governors would not take certain decisions without consulting, those traditional heads, because they have an influence over their kingdom, over their people, and the message flows quickly to their people when it comes through them. But there have been some conscious effort to reduce their impact or their powers. This is why you see governors, we invoke, bylaws and whatever, just to remove when they feel they are not satisfied or they're not happy with any traditional ruler that like maybe put himself in the position of a critic, as we saw happen to Sanusi Lamido. But the truth is that ideally, we should celebrate these people. Although there is a school of thought that they should still have play a pivotal role in the democracy and how things evolve. But as civilization, continues, you cannot continue to rely on the way you do things in the past. Things need to grow, things need to move forward and not remain stagnant. Of course, we have taken some bits of the history of how we evolved to this stage. But there's no reason why we should have things like constitutional, monarchy playing a role. They should remain in their advisory role and let the politicians be the one taking the decisions, because they are being elected to do the work. And if they are unable to do the work, we should have that power and the will to remove them. But sadly, that is not always the case in Nigeria. So, like we have said before, no one is born to rule. We are all born to rule as long as you are a citizen of that country and you can satisfy the conditions of the 1999 Constitution. The rotational policy, in my opinion, has lived its best shot. It is no longer going to work. And this is why we will continue to go in circles as far as politics, and we, compare with our, with our brothers in the West Africa. Let's not even go too far to South Africa. Let's look at those in South Africa, Ghana, for instance. If you look at the type of leaders they've had in how many years up to from independence and compare with the kind of leaders we have had, you would sometimes wonder how do we say we are giants of Africa?
But you would also want to know that even though you might not be involved in Ghanaian politics, that they've got issues of tribe and whatnot as well, whether the leaders from Ashanti and all that. Let me bring Engineer back into the mix. So, Engineer, you're making your point that you are you're from, what's the name of your ethnicity? What's your tribe?
Yes.
What do you call your tribe?
I am from Bokos. We are called Ron. R-O-N.
Okay.
The Ron people.
Good.
Plateau State.
Good. Now, the thing is, I want to say this question to you. Despite the small numbers of Fulani.
Now, in line with what Matthew was. Yeah.
Before you go on, let me just ask you this question, and you can carry on from where you want to speak. So, despite their small numbers, people speak of their lands being invaded by Fulani. Some, they say, are even foreigners with like from other parts of West Africa. You know, we have open borders and we have extended families across the colonially imposed boundaries. It's inevitable that non-Nigerians will flock to the giant of Africa, just like Nigerians are trooping in droves to Europe, America, and elsewhere. So this so-called invasion, what is your view on this? I mean, you're Run people. Do you feel that your lands are being invaded?
Now, you see, the Fulani that we are talking about have their own. We think that they are illiterates, but they have their own form of education. They have their own way of learning. They are taught. Now, these people have plans 20, 30 years ahead of the ordinary Nigerian. And you see what is happening today is the jihad that was started by Don Fodio long time ago.
So that jihad is not completed.
Every little Fulani child, and now the houses have been so indoctrinated that Nigeria is theirs.
It's not Nigeria. Nigeria is ours. It's not. It's everybody's. It's theirs and it's ours. Is that not the case?
Happened in Kano, just as you were saying. Okay, that is what you say. Now, but you see, just as you were saying, what happened in Kano is a game plan. Don't be surprised to hear that Sanusi eventually becomes the presidential candidate for Nigeria.
Is it not his right to be able to run for election?
And another thing is that because Sanusi had not been, he has the right. Now, another thing is that, you see, he has been there for a short while. Unlike his forefathers, you will see an emir that is there for 40 years. Within the 40 years, everybody in the community is so subservient to this emir. So when election time comes, every candidate, if he is not in the good books of the emir, certainly he will not win. And so when they get into office, they do not have the power to just even think not to even remove the emir. But what is happening today is that an emir comes when a governor is already there. It is even the governor that nominates the emir. So when the next governor comes, he can remove him. Because they have had a little interaction with the local people. So if he is removed, nothing happens. So the so-called emirs have become pawns now in the hands of politicians.
Absolutely, that's the point. They're not as powerful as they were before, because previously you were giving us the impression.
Let the Sokoto State governor, let the Sokoto State go. Yes, so However, try removing the Sultan.
Yeah, but we know that Sultan Dasuki
and
has
see
been
what will
removed.
happen.
Sultan Dasuki was removed previously under the Abacha
Nigeria
regime.
will go on flames.
Hold on, the Sultan of Soto was removed previously under the Abacha regime. So the idea that it's not possible is not true. It's
by the
happened before.
military. By the military.
Whether it was a military or civilian,
by
the head
the
of a
military.
state. He's the head of state.
No, not that it is not possible, but by the military.
And nothing is going to happen. Nothing will happen.
No. But I am telling you now, it will never happen. It will never happen under Buhari.
Okay, so let's answer your question. The point, why don't you answer this question?
It will never happen under Buhari.
Why don't you answer the question?
Even if they are not in the best of terms.
Let's answer the question that I asked you, which is that, is your land, do you feel that your run land in Plateau State is being invaded? Because this is the question, this is the theory that everybody's saying, and you came into this studio with that kind of impression. Do you feel it's been invaded?
Well, it is, yeah, it is certainly. Certainly, and if we go into that, it is going to actually it's going to make one emotional, because what is happening there is unthinkable. I can only imagine what would have happened if, for example, my dad or grandfather is alive, because they never, growing up, I never thought anything like this will happen. Now, they have taken over all the land. The people that survived go back to the farm to try and salvage what they have there. They are also killed. So they can't go back there. And we have a governor that doesn't seem to be sensitive. That it doesn't seem to be sensitive to the needs or to the survival of his electorates. I wonder if the man knows or remembers the people that put him there.
Is Governor Lantan, is he a Fulani? Lalong, is he a Fulani, the governor?
You see, that is what I was saying.
I'm asking you the question.
The Fulanis have plans 20, 30 years ahead. Certainly he is not.
He's not a Fulani.
Certainly he is not.
So he cannot necessarily be doing the bidding
what happens is that they have this, yeah. So they have this. He is.
Oh, that's your.
He is not the only one. He is not the only one. I am telling you.
What about Governor Autumn?
If there is any political appointment
from
Plateau State, any sensitive political appointment from Plateau.
What about Governor Autumn of Benue State?
Now, do you remember Governor Autumn says he can die for his people? What did Lalong say?
Is he doing
the
bid? Is he doing the
bidding
that's what I say. Fulanis? You say Governor Autumn, is he doing the bidding of the Fulanis?
How can he be doing the bidding of the Fulanis when he is defending his people?
Okay.
Governor Autumn is defending his people. So he can't be doing the bidding. And do you know that his life is at stake?
Okay, that's another matter. I can't speak to that. Let me bring Matthew back into it. Matthew, it is often claimed that we have never been so divided, and Engineer Maton is talking about.
So nobody is born to rule in Nigeria. We are all born to rule, just like Matthew said.
Yeah, but let me bring Matthew into the debate now. Matthew, it is often claimed that we have never been so divided as a nation. But this is clearly not true. The First and Second Republic had political parties were based on tribal lines. The UPN was a Yoruba party. The NPP was mainly an Igbo party, and MPN was mostly a Northern party. So we've had in the 60s pogroms and devastating civil war where millions of people died. So what will it take to unite Nigeria in 2023?
Thank you for asking me that question. Yeah, unity. It's a very tough thing to achieve in Nigeria, obviously. And the reasons are this, I will set it out. We all know there are different cultures, a lot of ethnic different ethnicity, and we don't speak with one voice. That is why an Hausa man will be saying something else, a Yoruba man will be saying something else. Even though we are all Nigerians, even though they are in the same party. So for us to be able to come together in 2023, we need one, a president that will come from not from without being, they won't be setting those kind of low barrier as in, oh, you must come from the north or you must come from the south, you must, no. There has to be a level playing ground for anyone who wants to become president. Someone who can unify. I think we've lost Engineer McQueen.
No, he's there. I think he's just turned his mic off. I mean, his camera. I think we've also got Olufemi Agbelugbe is trying to get into the studio, so I don't know if the presenters there, if they can figure that out. He's sent messages to say he's been trying to get in for 20 minutes. But look, go on, carry on, Odion.
Yes. So we need a level playing ground for anyone who wants to become the president. There should be no the idea of rotation at least is, you know, it at least is useful.
But you say that when Easterners haven't ruled ever, there's never been an elected president from Southeast Nigeria. We've never had it.
Fair enough.
How do you say rotation is dead now?
This is, I will tell you why. If we want to progress at the stage we should be, then rotation is only setting us back. Trust me, it is only encouraging mediocrity. It is sad that those in the Southeast have not been given their fair share. That is a very sad thing. And we all know the politics around it. Let's not even start it. Because if I begin to discuss that politics of that, why the Southeast are not being trusted to allow that rotation to go to them, trust me, we will never leave this.
Whilst you're at it, what the people may want to know, what region do you come from? With a name like the audience?
Okay, I come from South, obviously.
Okay, so see, they might say because Jonathan has done 6 years, you don't care. Rotation don't matter.
No. Far from me.
Are you sure?
Far from me. Yeah. Because I do not believe that rotation is gonna. If Nigeria really needs to move forward, to unite.
You want the quality of the candidate matters, yeah? Is
that
what you think?
The quality, wherever it comes from, does not really matter now. We need someone who is vibrant, someone who is a level playing person, someone who is open to, all tribes, not somebody who is heterocentric, or, who believes, I come from a place that is born to rule. So if I finish ruling, I must pass the baton to my own kinsmen. No. We have to start doing things differently if we must go forward.
With a year and 3 months to go to the next elections, I'm not sure we're ready to do things differently. Let's go on a short break and see if we can get back some of our guests, because we want them to also add to this debate. So let's go on a short break, presenter, and we'll come back to finalize this program.
When it comes to choosing the right product for my skin, it's all about the ingredients for me. Niger skincare products are authentic, fresh, and best of all, completely organic. I love the Motherland Moisturizer. It's designed to smooth and soak in the skin without ever feeling greasy, and their Jade Roller has literally become a part of my self-care routine. Visit nigerskincare.com today and receive 20% off your first order. For beautiful skin you were born to love.
Hi guys, my name is Yabo and I am the founder of Masasi B. If you're looking for unique African-inspired clothing and accessories, please check out my brand. All details are at the end of this video. Feel free to get in touch. Thank you.
Did I almost see what's really on
pattern has just bounced back. Look at that. Without any product in the hair at all. When you use Sherma Haven's natural hair care product line, your hair flourishes and becomes the main attraction.
Preview TV. New media with a difference.
Enough is Enough, Soro Soke is the show dedicated to debate and discussion towards a better Niger for all of us.
One day, our Niger go good. Now so then they talk good. One day, our mumu go do. Now so we talk.
Welcome back to Enough is Enough, Soro Soke. You can contact us on our YouTube and Facebook handles and Prime View Television. You can also make comments and also call in on +44 7939 895 108. We're discussing whether Nigerians in the north, whether there's a born to rule agenda that will that unite Nigeria. That's basically the question. So I'm looking to see if we've got any more our guests. Is Matthew, are you still with us? Mr. Matthews, are you still with us? And we're supposed to have another another guest, Mr. Ade Belugbe. Are you in the studio? Or am I just going to be talking to myself? Because it looks like that's where we are at the moment. Anyway, the next question that I'm looking at is that will the election of another Hausa Fulani herdsman, Alhaji Abubakar Atiku, unite Nigeria in 2023? Will those expressing the general disdain for Northerners put their lot with another Northerner? Does it really matter where the president comes from? Is not confidence, capacity, and character not the values the electorate should be judging, not where a person is from or where he resides? Any of my guests in the studio to answer this? Okay, maybe you in the audience can. Today has been one of those shows where anything is not really working. I don't know why, but we most will have to come back to have this, to do justice to this debate. Maybe we should play that video out, and then we're going to close the show, because if we don't have anyone to debate, I can't really debate with myself. So I'm sorry, audience, for the confusion this week, but it seems like there's been gremlins in the studios and people can get in on time. But we'll have to do this debate again. Oh, looks like Mr. Matthews. Are you back again?
Yes, I'm back. I'm so sorry that you lost me briefly.
You need to stay stable, man. You're in London. People will think that you're in Afghanistan the way you're going on. Are they throwing bombs or what's going on?
No, sorry. It's just the phone. The phone.
Okay, so let me put this poser to you. I said that in 2023, it's coming now. Are the electorate going to vote another? Because you say it doesn't matter where they're from and we should dispense with rotation. Are the electorate going to vote another House of Fulani herdsmen in the name of Alhaji Abubakar Atiku to unite Nigeria in 2023? Will those who are expressing general disdain for Northerners put their lot with another Northerner? Does it really matter where the next president comes from? As you say, is it the confidence, the capacity, and the character of the person that matter, not the value? And these are the values that the electorate should be looking for and judging, and not where the person is from, born, or where he resides. What do you say? Hello, Mr. Matthews. Mr. Matthews, what's happening? With 371 different distinct entities in Nigeria and 251 of them in northern Nigeria, no single ethnic entity can claim to have the sole privilege of being born
Kakalangu da 'yan mata an hada, ga guda da ganga a rangwada.
Right, I was enjoying that music. Have we got anyone else in the studio? Is it just me again? All right. I think on this note, we've gone 1 hour, 10 minutes. We're going to call it a day. Enough is enough, Soro Soke. Make sure, Soro Soke, don't be shy. If you see something, say something. If you can't take it no more, do something about it. I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors. Let me get them. This is so sad. My day is not really going good this day, and my birthday is coming up. So big shout out to our sponsors: Niger Beauty Products, Share My Haven Hair and Beauty Spa for massage therapy, skincare, Masasi B Fashions for sponsorships and adverts. All you need to do is get in touch with Prime View Television, and they'll put you through. So till same time next week. Stay safe. Enough is enough. That's all. It's okay. Over and out.
Prime View TV.